Hey Wellness Crew, and welcome to Yoga with Jenna. I'm so glad that you're joining me for today's practice. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and begin with sun salutations. We're going to go ahead and inhale, raise up our arms above our head, swan dive into a forward fold, relaxing the neck, walking our hands in front of us to come into plank, lowering our elbow or bending our elbows to come into hovering, and only our hands, the balls of our feet, and our toes are in contact with the mat. No other body part is in contact with the mat and hovering. Coming into upward dog, trying to keep our shoulders nice and down, tucking our toes underneath to get into downward dog. Walking our hands in towards our feet, forward fold, and slowly rolling up. Inhaling, reaching our arms up overhead, swan diving into a forward fold, relaxing the neck, walking forward with our hands into plank, coming into hovering, coming into upward dog, tucking our toes underneath for downward dog, walking our hands in towards our feet, forward fold, and again slowly rolling up. The reason that we do typically so many sun salutations is because we want to have a nice good warm up. We want to be warm for when we are doing our poses, especially when we're doing poses that we're going to be holding for any period of time. So that way we're going to be more open and kind of be able to gain a little bit more flexibility. Inhaling, bringing our arms up overhead, swan diving into a forward fold, walking our hands forward into plank, coming into hovering, coming into upward dog, tucking our toes underneath for downward dog, walking our hands towards our feet, forward fold, and slowly rolling up. Inhaling, bringing our arms up overhead, coming, swan diving into a forward fold, holding it here for just a few moments. Walking our hands forward into plank, coming into hovering, coming into upward dog, tucking our toes underneath so we can come into downward dog, walking our hands in towards our feet, forward fold, and slowly rolling up. So we're going to go ahead and start today with pyramid pose. So we're going to have our left foot facing forward, our right foot facing to the right side, and we're going to go ahead and fold forward over the right leg. Slowly rolling up. Going ahead, having our left foot facing forward, our left foot facing our left hand side, folding forward over our left leg. And slowly rolling up. Going ahead and widening that stance. Having our left foot facing forward, our right foot facing the right hand side. We're going to go ahead and bend that knee, almost like coming into a side lunge. We're going to bring our forearm to above our knee, and we're going to reach over with our left arm for a side bend. Going ahead and switching our foot position to our right foot facing forward, our left foot facing the left hand side, bending that left knee, bringing our forearm above our left knee, and bringing our right arm overhead. Coming up, we're going to go ahead and come into that. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name. Oh no. Well, as I said, it's not about perfection. We're going to just come into our low squat with our hands in prayer position. Hopefully by the end of the session I'll remember that name though, because it'll bother me. Really feeling that stretch on the inside of our thighs. Opening up our pelvic area. We're going to bring our hands to the mat. Come up. Bring our feet kind of closer together. We're going to go ahead, have our left foot facing forward, our right foot facing the right hand side, and going forward into pyramid. Rolling up. Going ahead, switching our foot position. So right foot forward, left foot facing the left hand side, and going forward over that leg for pyramid. Feeling that stretch in your hamstring, potentially even in your calves. And rolling up. Going ahead, widening our stance. Left foot facing forward, right foot facing the right hand side. Bending the knee, bringing our right forearm to above the knee, and bringing our left arm overhead. Going ahead, coming up, bringing our right foot forward, our left foot facing the left side, bringing our left forearm to above our knee, and bringing our right arm overhead. Coming back up, bringing our feet in just a little bit for that nice low squat. It's gonna bug me that I cannot remember the name of this position. Oh my goodness. Having our hands in prayer position, our elbows pretty much pushing against the inside of our upper legs, but like kind of like right above the knee, maybe that little area. It's the best way to describe it. Bringing our hands to the mat, going ahead and bringing both our toes forward. We're going to come into a hanging forward fold with a straddle position. Going ahead, placing your hands, you can place them on the mat, you can place them on your ankles. Really feeling that stretch in your hamstrings. Now this time for sure, bringing your hands to the mat, walking them forward, bringing your knees to the mat so we can come into a tabletop position. So we're going to go ahead and start with cat-cow. So we're going to go ahead and as we inhale, we're going to bring the crown of our head up. We're going to bring our butt up. As we exhale, we're going to go ahead and arch our back and lower the crown of our head towards the mat. Two more. All right, returning into the tabletop position. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, starting with our right leg, we're going to have it come out as nice and straight as we can to coming forward. We're going to then lean into that right side so we can have a nice stretch in our inner thighs. On your left leg, you will feel a stretch in your quads, a stretch in your hips as well. Then we're going to go ahead, we're going to straighten that leg out, bring those knees back down. Our shoulders will be behind our hands, but because our weight is distributed onto the bottom of our legs, this is safe, this is okay. So now we're going to straighten out that leg as much as we can, bring that left foot forward, aim to get that nice stretch. And as straight as we can, bringing it back. Then moving forward so we can come back into tabletop. We're going to go ahead and put our left arm through. Bring our right palm back for threading the needle. And going ahead and switching sides. So bringing that right arm underneath the left. Coming back into that tabletop position, we're going to go ahead, straighten out that right leg, and coming forward in a low lunge or even almost close to a lizard position. Although for lizard we would be on our forearms, and for this one we're going to stay on the palms of our hands. And going ahead and as best you can, having it straight, coming back, nice and straight as you can, coming forward, bringing that left foot up, feeling that stretch in your inner thighs, on your right quad. And going ahead, straightening that that leg out, and bringing it back, bringing the hands back to be in tabletop position. We're going to go ahead and thread the needle, bringing that right palm back. And we're going to go ahead and switch sides. And coming back into a tabletop position, we're going to go ahead and straighten out that right leg as much as we can before coming into a low lunge. And I want you to try to look up as best as you can, so that way you can also simultaneously get a bit of a stretch in your throat area. Lifting up the chin. Then straightening that leg, moving it back, straightening the left leg so it can come forward. Again, lifting that chin so we can get a bit of a stretch in our throat as well. And straightening that leg and coming back, straightening the right leg, coming forward. I obviously do not expect it to be perfectly straight the entire time, no worries. And lifting that chin up, chest up. And straightening out that leg, coming behind, straightening out that left leg, bringing that foot forward, lifting your chest and your chin as best as you can. And straightening that leg back. Going ahead, we're gonna thread the needle with our left arm, bringing it underneath the right. And switching sides. So threading the needle with our right arm nice and straight. Our left palm is close to the arm with our elbow bent. Coming back into tabletop, we're going to go ahead, tuck our toes underneath so we can get into downward dog. Lifting the left leg up, bringing it down, lifting the right leg up, and bringing it down. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and right. We're going to go ahead and step one foot forward, the other foot meets it, coming into a forward fold, and slowly rolling up. So next thing we're going to do is come into eagle position. So let's start on our left leg. So we're going to cross our right leg over the left, right? They're going to be intertwined. We're going to bring our left arm underneath, having our palms meet as best as they can for eagle position. So we have a bit of a balance pose, or a balance pose. Going ahead, unwinding those arms, kicking out the legs, shrugging, and moving out our arms. Coming onto our right leg, we're going to bring that left leg over, intertwining it. Bring the right arm underneath the left, as close as your palms can come to meeting. And coming out. Maybe a little bit early, that's okay. All right, let's go ahead, have our toes. The right toes are facing the right side, the left toes are facing the left. Coming into a bit of a squat, having our arms with the palms facing upward, coming into sun pose. And straightening out our legs, bringing them in a little bit closer to where they are underneath our hips. We're going to go ahead and fall forward into a forward fold. We're going to go ahead and yes, we're going to step back, but we're going to come back into tabletop. From tabletop, we're going to go ahead, widen out our knees to get into frog position. You can have the heels of your feet directly underneath your knees, or you can have them a little bit closer in, whichever you prefer. And in order to get deeper into the stretch, you're going to go ahead and push your butt, push your hips back. You're on your forearms. And coming out of frog pose, we're going to come forward and coming on to our knees. We're going to go ahead, make fists with our hands, bring them to our lower back, bringing our elbows back and kind of bending backwards a bit. Going ahead, coming onto our toes and reaching for our ankles and making sure that we're trying to keep our hips over our knees as much as possible. Slowly coming out of camel. We're going to go ahead and come into a supine position. We're going to have our palms on the mat. We're going to go ahead, bring our legs into, with our knees bent into a 90-degree angle. We're going to open up, then we're going to close. We're going to straighten our legs, open them up, and close. Bent, open, straight, open. Bent, open, straight, open. Bent, open, straight, open. Open, 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 open. From here, we're going to start to lower our legs just a bit, then bring them back up. Lower our legs and come back up. Lower our legs and come back up. We want to make sure that the bottom of our back, our lower back, is in contact with the mat the entire time. If you start to go low enough to where your lower back is coming up off of the mat, you need to stop and only go as far as your lower back is still in contact with the mat. Just for safety. Got 3 more. Very good. Bringing the feet to the mat, having our knees bent. We're going to go ahead and bring our hands interlaced behind our head. We're going to bring our right elbow towards our left knee, coming back down. Bring our left elbow towards the right knee and come back down. Right and left. 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 Right, left, right and left. Right and left. Right, left, right, left, right and left, right, left, right, and left. We got 2 more. Right and left, right and left. All right, we're going to go ahead and come up to our bottoms. We're gonna have our the palms of our hand, or the palms. We're gonna have our fingers facing our heels. We're gonna have our feet a little bit spread apart to where it would be in line with our hips. We're gonna go ahead and come up into reverse tabletop and come down. Two more. All right, coming back onto our backs, we're gonna bring our knees in. We're gonna hug our knees towards our chest for knees to chest stretch. In through your nose, breathing in and exhaling out. Breath is so important when it comes to yoga. All right, we're going to go ahead and return our knees to that bent knee 90-degree position. We're going to extend our left arm out. We're going to go ahead and there we go, nice pop. Let our knees fall towards our right side. I just had that total like up my spine. You'll also get a nice stretch on your biceps and your forearms as well. We're going to go ahead, bring it back to the middle. We're going to extend that right arm and same thing, bring it down. Making sure your shoulders still in contact with the mat. And bringing it back to the middle. Hugging your knees in towards your chest for knees to chest. We're going to go ahead and extend our left leg out. We're going to bring that right knee out as well. We're still pulling it in, but we're just going to bring it outwards a little bit. Going ahead, bringing both knees, or the left knee back in, extending that right leg, and then pulling on that left leg and kind of bringing it out a little bit as well. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and come into Shavasana. We're going to have the palms of our hands facing the sky. Being open and receptive to whatever it is the universe and your higher power will want to provide to you. Breathing in through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. Being grateful for today's practice, for what your body was able to accomplish. Thinking of things that you're grateful for so you can go ahead and raise the frequency of your emotions and your mood. And extending an arm out, coming onto our side, and coming into a seated or a kneeling position. I am so honored and so grateful for you joining me for today's practice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and or follow. So that way you can get more content just like this. And I will see you on the next video, Wellness Crew. Be well, stay wild.